Hello, this is Nancy Akpezu, the lead consultant at Pezu Smith Consulting. And it's such a pleasure to bring you tips that I learned at the last um, parenting, character parenting summit, which plays on the 30th of September in Lagos, organized by, by Mrs. Bode Olawasa and her team at the Royal Values Company. Well, it was so. What really struck me was the quality of conversation and the fact that it was not just theory, but people were brought in to share their values and what exactly it is they're doing. I was highly impressed by a family where there was a son that had to testify how his dad actually brought him up and the core values that he grew up with. You know, sometimes we think that we're just passing values to our children. The truth is that the values we pass on to them, we have to model them, we have to become that without being perfect, but we at least have to make that effort and to be intentional about the values that we pass to our children. And, it was so good to hear him just, go through the family values. And then, of course, the Olushola Obasas, their kids did amazing by actually articulating what their family values are. And it was so impressive to know that their parents did not contribute in any way to that presentation that they made. I hope to share clips of videos from this event on my YouTube channel and across social media platforms because I really would not understand so highly impressed. It's so good to see that there are people in our climes who are really so intentional about raising their children and doing all they can to make sure that they preserve core values that they believe are important to pass on to them. I happened to have been on the education intervention desk and I did make a contribution, okay? And I would say what I shared at the event. I did mention that parents should stop dumping their children on schools. It is not the primary responsibility of schools to raise your children. It's the family that starts the process of value, inculcating values in children. The school will only partner with you to do that. Eventually, the kids come back to you. And so the school plays a second role in modeling values for children. But I must say that it all starts from home. And of course, religious bodies also play a part. But I want to emphasize that it all starts from home. I've been in school in four reputable schools in cities across Nigeria. And I must tell you that in every school where I have been an administrator, I could tell kids who came from homes where the values were actually emphasized. And it showed in the way they conducted themselves, it showed in the way they related with their teachers, the way they related with their colleagues and peers and fellow students. It showed in the way they went out doing their stuff and it just reflected. And so we can't leave raising our kids to the teachers. It's enough responsibilities teaching children and doing a whole lot of things. You have just one or two or three or four. Do you know how many kids a teacher has in his or her class? You delegate parenting to teachers, and I'm not should not be a part in inculcating values. Definitely, we do our part in schools. I did a lot of that as a school administrator, even way before I became a school administrator when I was a teacher. But I also know that the work becomes a lot easier when there's a school homeschool partnership and the parents contribute their part. I'll share an example. There was on my last job, there was a child who got into trouble. He was a boarding student. It was a day and boarding optional kind of school. And so this child got into wrong company and we just knew that he was behaving off and doing things that he usually would not do. And this was after he had been there for about 4 years. I think it was in his fourth year that he got into this whole, a group of boys that were not very, very good influence on him. And I recall having a meeting with him as the school administrator when the report came to me. He had met with the guardians counselor, and I said, well, it would be nice to just have a word with him as his school administrator. And with the moment I mentioned that I was going to bring his parents. Now, I didn't know what home he came from. And by the way, I was just 2 years old on the job, on that particular job role by then. And this boy said, "Oh, please, Miss Nancy, if there's anything you're going to do, please don't bring my parents here. I don't want them to know that I got into trouble in school." That was someone who came from a home where core values of integrity, honesty, and hard work and all of that was actually emphasized. But you see, the moment I brought his parents in and we had a meeting, and they told me they wanted to have a word with him in my office after I was done with the meeting with him and the boarding house staff and his class teacher, I noticed that he just behaved himself till he graduated. Even if others were going to do things that were not nice, he would just stay away. And that makes it a lot easier for the school when parents are in partnership with the school to help inculcate values in their children. But what if I also told you that there were instances when I invited parents and they would not show up? You would write emails, you would send Skype link to meet with them, you send Google Meet, you send Zoom, you will send WhatsApp. They will not respond to anything. And the last day, they just come up and pick their kids and go. And if there's any trouble, they think that the school should fix it. That's dumping your kids on the school, which shouldn't be. Teachers are not primarily parents to your children. You are their parents. You're sending your most prized possession to the school as students, and the teachers are there to take over from where you have stopped or where you have already started, not stopped, because parenting is a lifetime thing, I think. But please, parents, do your part at home. Don't say, "Oh, my child is just 2 years old, so I'm coming to dump him or her in the school," and let teachers do all the work. No, teachers have enough on their desk. And believe me, it's really tasking. It's very taxing being a 21st century teacher. There's so much to do. And to add kids whose parents are not contributing in any way makes the work really arduous on us. So please, I implore you, parents, do your parts, model the right things, parent your children very well, because you have to be intentional. You have to really be intentional about it, and let the school know what you stand for. When you drop your kids in a school, don't just dump them and say, "Oh, the teachers are there." Watch what goes on. What if you've dropped your kids in a school where you think the teachers are doing an excellent job and they actually are not? So please do your part. And teachers, please be patient. We're also dealing with parents who have a whole lot of issues and who are battling with the 21st century kids, and it's tough. So it's a homeschool connection. They shouldn't dump the kids on you, and you should always also play your part in ensuring that you do the bit you can, and not just the bit you can, to go the extra mile for these children. Thank you. I hope to share other tips that I learned from this event subsequently. I'm really tired, no power, I don't know what happened, and I'm somewhere where there's no. I just stopped by somewhere to do this video. So until my next video, remember to subscribe to my YouTube video for videos on administration and management and leadership, customer service, tips around that, basic administration and management. And visit my website, www.nancyekpezu.com. Visit Seller shop, www.seller.co/m/Nancy Ekpezu. I hope that you subscribe and share this video, make your comments, and let me know what you think about parenting in this time and age. Until next video, it is bye bye for now.